Chloe, and today's video is one of the most exciting videos I think I've ever done because I worked really hard and I actually made this idea up, and it is fall foods inspired by Bath & Body Works fall candles. That's a mouthful, but so the story behind this is I was smelling my pumpkin pecan waffle candle and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I was like, what if I could make that? And then it just became cupcakes and all this yummy fall food inspired by these delicious fall Bath & Body Works candles we all love. If you end up recreating any of these, make sure to hashtag it to Falling with Clearly Chloe on Instagram or Twitter, and maybe I'll repost it or like it or comment on it. So let's start this video. The first one are pumpkin cupcakes. You need salt and flour, brown sugar and sugar, baking soda and baking powder, butter and pumpkin puree, ground nutmeg, cinnamon and allspice, and 4 eggs. Here are the measurements exactly. So I'm mixing up all my dry ingredients, and when I'm done mixing them up, I'm going to set that aside and use this bowl, and I'm putting in my brown sugar, butter, and eggs in this one. And then I'm just going to put this in the electric mixer, and when it comes out, I'm going to add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients and mix that together, and you will get this doughy little batter. And once you've kind of mixed it, just add a can of pumpkin puree in to give that yummy pumpkin flavor, and mix that all up, and that is the batter. And then for the cupcakes, I'm just taking a cupcake pan and I'm lining it with cupcake liners, and yeah, and I'm filling them up with this little ice cream scooper and putting my batter in it. And you're gonna put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. When they came out, I just used some plain vanilla frosting to frost them all, and you do not have to be a good froster. I am very bad. So that is how they turned out. This one is my favorite. It's a pumpkin pecan waffle. You will need 3 eggs, 1½ cups of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of canola oil, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla, 1½ cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 4th teaspoon of salt, and a ½ cup of chopped pecans. So first I'm going to start off with a bowl, and I'm just going to combine my milk and my sugar, and I'm going to mix my milk and my sugar together. And then in a separate bowl, I'm going to take all my other ingredients and just mix that into that bowl. And then I'm going to pour my wet bowl into my dry bowl and mix that together until there's no more like bumps or anything. And then I'm just stirring in some chopped pecans, and I'm stirring more and more. Then I am pouring all my batter into my waffle iron, and I'm just pouring that in and letting it cook. And when it was out, it looked like this, and I decided I'd add some whipped cream just to make it look a little better and taste better. And I'm adding some pecans along the top and some maple syrup. And that is the finished waffle. And I actually made one of these for breakfast, so this is the one I made the next morning. For the spiced pumpkin cider, you will need some apple cider, and I'm just pouring out 2 cups of it. And then I'm going to pour the 2 cups onto my pan, and I'm taking 3 cinnamon sticks, and then I'm taking 4 cloves, and I'm putting that in, and I'm just waiting for it to simmer. And when it starts to simmer, I'm going to pick out my cinnamon sticks and cloves, and then I'm adding ½ cup of pumpkin and stirring that into the mixture. And then I'm pouring that into 2 cups, And I'm adding a little cinnamon stick in each cup just to make it cuter. And this is so tasty and a perfect fall drink. These are the sweet cinnamon pumpkin cookies. You will need 2½ cups of flour, a ½ cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, ½ teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, ½ teaspoon ground nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, ½ teaspoon of baking powder, an egg, and 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. So first I'm taking a bowl and I'm just going to combine my flour, basically all my dry ingredients. And then I'm going to whisk that together. And yeah, I'm just whisking it up. And I'm going to set that aside, and in another bowl I'm combining my butter and my sugar. And I'm adding my sugars and my butter, and I'm taking an electric mixer and mixing that all up. And then I'm going to add my pumpkin and my vanilla extract to the mix-up product thing. And I'm adding 1 egg and stirring that into my dry ingredients and just stirring that out to make the dough. For the sugar topping, I'm eyeballing sugar and cinnamon and whisking that together. Then I'm going to set my oven to 350. And on a sheet lined with parchment paper, I'm plopping down some dough balls and just sprinkling them with my sugar topping. And they turn out so good, and I just baked mine for 20 minutes.
I love that accent you have when you say hello. You relocated from New York.
So for the pumpkin spice latte, you will need a cup of milk, sugar, 2 shots of espresso coffee, ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, whole cloves, and cinnamon sticks. So I'm basically pouring my cup of milk onto the pan, and then I'm going to add a cinnamon stick and 2 cloves, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going to mix that all together, and then I'm going to cover it for about a minute. And when it's done being covered, I'm taking out my whole stuff. In the meantime, I'm taking my espresso and pouring it into the mug, and then I'm pouring my hot spiced milk in after it. I'm adding some whipped cream at the top, and I'm just adding some nutmeg and cinnamon to make it look cute. And of course, you have to add your marshmallows on the top. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And remember to hashtag it if you recreate it to Falling with Clearly Chloe on Instagram and Twitter. And that is all. So see you in my next video. Bye.